Gaming.
Don't give it up.
Gaming.
I have a bit more of a recap since it's been a little bit since we've played. Let me snag music. In the previous session, your party escaped the endless halls of the second layer, traveling instead back into the open air. You had a tough encounter with two living whirlwinds, a close experience with a baby griffin, and carefully bouldered down a rocky outcropping on the side of the hollow. At the bottom, you met up with a tired ratfolk by the name of Azulfoff Derby, who claimed to be able to navigate you through the hollow without stirring up any trouble. That leads us into the patter of quick footsteps on the grassy bluff. Your party follows closely behind Azulfoff until your paths diverge. Aiming to go towards the dragon's markings on the wall of Martyr's Hollow, you press forward along the cliffside, eventually making it to a cave entrance once more. Sniffing around the entrance, Azulfoff nods. This should bring us down towards our destination, I believe. Soba, also holding a keen sense of smell, sort of sticking her tongue out around the entrance of this cave. You can smell hints of ash and smoke. To describe how Azulfoff's sort of mechanic works, since it's been a while, he will lead the party through 2 encounters worth of travel and bypass like anything that would have been there. So whether it's a combat or if it was like a positive thing, you will not even know, but you do get like 2 encounters of free movement. Standing at yet another cave entrance, preparing yourselves to go back down into the caves. How are y'all doing?
I don't know. I'm gonna be real. It's been so
it's been a while.
I don't remember. I remember the cliff encounter, but I don't remember anything after that.
The rat man led us to this cave.
Let me refocus the.
Doesn't trust his rat, by the way.
I was about to say, let me refocus the question. How does the party feel about being like led somewhere by, a stranger?
If they're capable and non-hostile, then I don't really care.
Soba knows that we were moving faster than previously. Therefore, it's a higher chance of us getting to the bottom before the other team, which is a good thing.
Dennis has a much more newfound confidence and knows that if this route brings anything less than great, that this team could handle it. So at this point, Dennis is just thankful to be moving a bit faster through the caves.
Hell yeah. As you guys sort of, prep yourselves for a moment outside and then delve back in once more, hide your token. As you enter the cave system, a lot of what you're used to in these are familiar. The named hush puppies lining the walls every so often, echoing and murmuring the sounds of creatures that have been around them, occasionally hearing words, sometimes strung together, an occasional scream that sort of eerily echoes through the hall.
Smells like a barbecue in here. No signs of fire damage though?
Not around. From what you are smelling, it is fairly faint, and it is rising up from
Deeper.
much deeper below.
What was the smell?
It is of ash and smoke.
I see.
Barbecue.
What if you do it well? Then it's just smoke.
Kind of true.
I like my barbecue crispy. Carcinogens can't defeat me.
This is in character. I watched that motherfucker eat shit raw. I don't agree with it.
Someone's just not picky.
Perhaps that dragon awaits us below.
You've defeated a dragon before, right?
Yes, protected my village from one.
We should be fine then.
Not unfamiliar territory for me.
As your group delves, it's around 2 hours of travel, with Azulfov taking the lead. And as you sort of mentioned that, he chirps back to you. A dragon? Wow, I'd love to see that.
Well, hopefully this one is a bit more friendly, but if worse comes to it,
A friendly dragon. That would certainly be quite the sight to see. On the surface, I never saw any too friendly dragons, but then again, I guess I never really saw that many dragons at all. Maybe only one, I think. May have been a drake, I'm not sure.
I once mistakenly called the dragon folk one of my Tianzi kin, but he was not. He was a dragon folk.
An interesting mistake to make. I'm sure they weren't bothered too much by it.
No. I mean, some of my brothers and sisters have the snake parts on the top of their body, and then the human parts on the lower part.
Ah.
It was an easy mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. I have a question for you. Why are you trying to go down here?
Well, I'm trying to map out as much of the hollow as I can. I've been fairly thorough.
But how do you sell the maps if you're not able to go back to the top?
I don't. They're for me.
Oh.
Think
A
of it
very
as
ambitious project.
Yes. You know, maybe one day if somebody figures out a method of getting out of here and I get word of it, then I could go up and, you know, I'll be fine because I'll have this nice little map to sell.
Wait, so how much of the map do you have done? Like, do you have everything above us done?
I did my rounds of the first layer up above, the bluffs. I pretty thoroughly explored the cliff sides and the swamp. I wish I would have been able to spend more time in the plains, but unfortunately, things are kind of rough there. Lots of undead and, well, I don't deal terribly well with them.
Ortyx kind of groans at the thought of undead again.
Party is very averse to undead already.
Ortyx is never too fond of them.
As it is, been calling those motherfuckers out since you showed them a skeleton with a jar. I've made it clear.
It's okay. That one is cool.
That one's a...
Yes, I've certainly made my rounds though, and he takes a moment to stop and take a quick breather and takes out some papers and shows you Thinnis. He has like 6 different papers that are all like differently filled out maps, like pretty thorough, showing some locations up above.
Is there anything, like, are there any discrepancies from what we experienced? that I would notice?
Not very many. It's pretty in line with what you guys had. And in fact, I can, just for the sake of being able to look at it, activation. Show the first map again, and you do see he has a couple things noted that are like markings that you never saw. Like there's something in the what he has marked as a rainforest over in this top right. He has like a temple marking, like a little drawing of like a little temple. And then a cave that is somewhat near the pulley that has like a little drawing of a kobold, and a little drawing of a skull next to it. But other than that, it's pretty in line with what you guys have.
What about other layers? Like, how much more are we looking at?
For what he has right now?
Yeah, for what we're, like, the layer that we're on.
Not nearly as, like, fleshed out. And as you sort of ask about that, he's like, well, to be completely honest, with all of these cave systems, it's been difficult to get a complete read on everything. Of course, I can get a pretty detailed drawing of what it looks like when I'm outside, but connecting these, I'm just sort of guesstimating. And he does point to like the center like column where like you see like the bricks and like parts of castle poking out. He's like, but I can tell you assuredly that traveling anywhere between like any of these areas is pretty free, as the castle seems to stretch almost indefinitely through this area. It's confusing to navigate, but I guess less restricting in that way. However, these cave systems generally only connect to a couple other cliffs at a time.
I'd love to trade information later, even if it's just us purchasing a copy from you or something.
I would love to. Be a good idea before we split ways. And after a bit more travel, you see him like scratching at one of the walls, and he goes, "Aha! Just what I was looking for. A bit of a secret." And there is a small nook with like a stream running into it that is certainly too small for some of the party members, your party members, to get through. As Azulfoff even has to sort of squeeze into it to get himself in. This is sort of what I was looking for. Said to be some secrets around this part. I heard from some locals, so I suppose this is as good as point of any for us to part ways.
What locals? Who are you talking to?
Oh, there's people around in the caves. You just gotta know where to look.
Where am I gonna look?
The caves.
Oh, all right.
But there's also another
He said
thing
that.
I think we could use information on, maybe.
Oh, some of them are nice. Some of them not so nice. It really depends on who you find. But, I did find some in a sort of hidden little cavern, over, and he points at the map. He points like over here on the side. I found them over there, and then before the important thing while I've been traveling is if I want to cover everything, I kind of have to move around the entirety of the layer and then move down a little bit to account for the curse. I have to make sure I hit as much as I can before I move down, or else it's going to be hard. But it's over on the far side. There are some locals. They're they resemble some of the usual. I'm trying to remember what the new Underdark is called. That is escaping my brain.
Do you want to just leave it at Underdark for now? We can correct our notes later.
Yeah, sure. They resemble some of the Underdark people of, Galarian, but they're different somehow. They seem to worship the Hollow. I'm not sure if that's quite the right word, but they revere this place quite greatly.
Well, thank you for the info.
Here's where I'm asking you, as the player to the GM. I can't. If I am to try to get to buy a map off of this person to get map details, how much is that?
I'd be more willing to trade information for information.
I can tell
Rather
you,
than gold, if you have things you could think of to give him, like, information-wise, he will return in kind.
do you have a blank piece of paper?
Yes, I have plenty of them. And he reaches into his sack at his waist and hands you one.
I'm gonna just like fake sketch a map, not draw one out, but just like kind of go off of his and draw like the entrances we've gone to and exited, and then just like list guys that we've fought on the way down.
Oh.
Nothing that I would need to like roll a check for, just like dumping information onto a piece of paper.
Yeah. I'm not gonna make you roll for that. I mean, you guys have collected quite a bit of knowledge. He definitely looks at some of the like secret entrances and stuff. Like I know you went and I think it was here you found one as well. And he goes, "Oh, I actually hadn't even thought to walk along there. I thought that was going to be a dead end." Well, I'll certainly take note of that. And you said it led to here, and he scribbles into the sort of halls in the middle. You can tell that he just has like a big sort of cone drawn out. That I have to draw this with the chat ruler. But
I have a little thing drawn on on the Mortician journal if you want to go look at that. It's pretty much just what I'm dumping in there.
Okay. He draws something that looks kind of like this. And like it mirrors that on the other side. It's sort of like an hourglass shape around the halls. He's like, judging on what I've traveled through the halls and my sort of guesses therefore, it has sort of this hourglass shape. And my guess is that somewhere in the center where sort of the two sides meet, there's almost certainly something there. I haven't quite gotten there yet, since of course he just sort of gestures around. It's like, we're here, and I haven't gone down that far yet, but it is on my list of things to go to along with those dragon markings.
I mean, as when I will like finish up and go like just hold the paper, basically, what do you got? Like, what do they have to offer us now? Aside from like obviously the guys over there.
Mhm. The guys over there and the information about the sort of hourglass shape of the halls.
Yeah.
He taps his pencil, like sort of on his nose, and thinks about some other stuff. And he's like, I guess the best thing that I could give you guys is there is something that you haven't run into down here that you should really look out for. In fact, I could think of two. The first that I've seen that you guys don't have written down here for these caves is a red cap. Nasty little fellows. Have you ever seen like a garden gnome?
No.
No.
Yeah, I have.
Well, he sort of holds his hand up to, like, I mean, he's pretty small as well, so he holds it up to like his like chest, and he's like, they're about this big. They have their pointy red caps. They usually carry something for cutting, usually like a scythe or a blade, and they are very, very mean, very fast, generally, surprisingly sturdier than they look based on their size. Real dangerous little fellows, and they love these caves. They also
are known to be very, very sturdy fellows.
Yes. They also like spending time around, what are they called? Those stupid little chickens. Cockatrices. Yes. So, be careful of those. You said that you had encountered them before, so just be prepared. The other, I haven't experienced much because I kind of, and he sort of like embarrassedly puts his hand on the back of his head. He's like, I kind of ran from them, but I believe they're called Gibtas. They're little jumpy fellows. They're pretty dangerous, big mouths.
So,
This is good to know. Thank you.
punch guys wearing red hats on sight. And if they jump, they're the enemy.
Maybe narrow that list down a little bit more, but you've got the spirit. And he he sort of reaches up and like pats you on the side, because that's about as high as he can reach.
Your information has been invaluable. We appreciate it.
Of course. Well, with that being said, I wish you luck with whatever's down there, and if I see you again, I hope you'll tell me what you saw.
And then we'll hand them the piece of paper with the stuff, just so they don't have to remember it later.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. I can copy these to my notes. And bearing his little sword and shield, he sort of stows them on his back and gives you guys a wave, and then starts crawling into the nook and disappears into the cave.
An interesting fellow that was. Now, how about we find that barbecue?
Can't say I'm too fond of ash and smoke myself, but if it's our way forward, then that's where we'll go.
You can notice that sort of smell has only really gotten stronger since you guys have been down. Like, at first, only Soba could really, like, smell it with his more keen sense of smell. But as you guys get down, you all sort of get that hint of ash in the air.
And we're still in like a cave, right? Like, we're not outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
With that being said, you guys are now officially 6 encounters into this day. With 2 left, and assuredly not too much farther to go until you reach your destination. What would you guys like to do?
What are we looking at in terms of resources? How many resolve points do you have, Soba?
All of them.
Okay. We're looking like we're all full on HP except me right now.
How much do you have?
17 to 21. I'm only down 4. But I have 3 resolve points and full stamina, so...
I could probably hit 1 at least and see what it happens.
Yeah.
It's probably 1 rest and then go on.
Just take 10. Take 10 to recuperate.
Depending on the encounter, if you rest and do 1, or if you just rest is why.
We get
definitely
one.
just do one.
Yeah, we do 1 encounter. We take a nappy, and then we get on getting on. I think that's the move.
All right.
I think we have the resources.
Move this ahead 2 hours. Cool. Would you want to take 10 to try and treat wounds or whatever? Or are you just not worried about it with having, like, only 4 health missing?
I could try to treat one. I don't know. Wait, what's your plus to treat wounds, Dennis?
My treat wounds.
Yeah, I have
My
a plus 6.
medicine is +8.
Oh,
Well, you could try to do it on me, or I could try to do it on myself.
Come here.
Yippee!
21. Solid.
Normal success, 2d8.
Huge. With that being said, let's do that. Let's get into your guys' 7th encounter of the day. Okay.
Have you spent the healer's gloves interact thing today already? I feel like you've done it.
I
just don't
think
know.
I did.
Okay. Wait, do I just heal the full or as the?
It would be
2d8 need to be
2d8.
Out here.
More than likely. Oh,
Yippee! Exactly. even.
exactly.
Okay.
Not a moment wasted.
It's not automatically updated. I'm just gonna put it in myself. What is this 6 again? Every time I gotta open this damn journal.
This damn journal.
Looks like an encounter of some, well, lore encounter of some kind.
You can talk amongst yourselves as I get this prepped.
Nah.
Nah, sorry.
What?
My bad for even suggesting such a thing.
You want us to RP in the tabletop RPG?
That's crazy, I know.
I have a
I'm only here
doctor's
for
note. I don't have
TTG.
to.
It's TTG.
I'm wondering while we're walking about. I've heard a lot of different things are at the bottom of this little adventure we're going on. What do you guys think is at the bottom?
Well, I think wishes and riches are almost something too good to be true. If it were something like that down there, I imagine there would be something quite powerful guarding it, and I I wish to see it. The Guardian.
A wish does seem a little unrealistic, but I can't imagine it being anything else other than power that people like us probably shouldn't have access to.
So what you're saying is this is a really big well, and the wish is at the bottom. And we're the pennies.
Very well could be. Perhaps the architect of this place is down there.
What would I even wish for? Probably to go back to the top.
Without consequence, I hope.
What would be the consequence of going back to the top?
You know, dying from the sickness, going to the bottom.
You're right. I should rephrase it. To safely return to the top.
Yes. You can't let those genie wishes get the best of you.
That's right. It's okay. I'll tell you my wish, and then you can write it down, and I'll just read that off to the genie at the bottom.
Genie. Wonder what a djinn would be doing in such a place as this.
Maybe this is just a really big lamp. Maybe it's not a well.
Ah, that would
Maybe if you
explain the
rub the-
clouds above us.
Maybe if you rub the wall, we don't have to go all the way down there.
Silva reaches out and touches the wall.
Maybe because it's a big lamp, we have to have a big hand.
I have a pretty big hand.
Then it's just like looks up at how big the hollow is.
Right. Not that big.
Maybe
I
there's
guess.
a big hand down there.
Oh, big hand for the big lamp.
Oh, that is what is truly at the bottom.
I'm picturing just a really, really, really big Hulk hand with a really, really tiny hole for your hand.
As you guys have this conversation, it is interrupted by a gust of air that sort of bellows from below and rustles the hush puppies around you. And you hear from their sort of echoing voices, one voice say, "Shadows spring from the walls." Another, "Do not anger the beast." And then a third whispers softly, "He's surrounded by nightmares." And with that, the gust passes, and you hear other voices sort of echo down the rest of the cave behind you.
These are the hush puppies, right?
Yes.
Can I try to seek and see if I hear or potentially see anything
Yeah.
other than the whispering voices?
A look around you, and you notice with that check that there is something strange up ahead of you and sort of clinging to the ceiling.
Something clinging to the ceiling?
Yes.
Is it too far from my light?
It's sort of at the edge of your light.
If I take a cautious step forward to maybe see a little better.
As you take a step forward, it takes a step back. And as it are you sort of like looking at it?
Yes.
As it realizes that you are looking at it, it causes another you feel another breeze like blow through the hall, and rustle up all of the hush puppies again as they all begin to um, speak and whisper and scream and scuttle around you. And then uh, you see it scuttle out of view of your light and farther down into the cave.
I'm wary of this one. Perhaps it leads us to the beast.
The beast?
I don't know. That's what the voices are saying.
Were all of us able to see this figure that Ortyx noticed?
Did Ortyx point it out?
Probably with some hand gestures, but nothing he would have said out loud. So if anyone saw him like pointing at, there was a creature on the ceiling, stayed out of the light, seemed to scuttle away when I started looking at it. Reminds me a bit of the cockatrice.
Was it like big?
I couldn't get a good look at it. How big did it look like from what I could see?
Not that large, probably like a small sized creature. Had to, put a metric on it.
It wasn't. I couldn't tell its true size, but it was surrounded by the darkness. But it didn't seem very large from what I could see.
Do you think it's faster than you?
I don't know if I want to test that, but I doubt it.
Well, onward we go then.
Ortyx will continue to walk forward with the light out, keeping an eye on the ceiling for anything or any clues, I guess. But I'm not the clues guy.
No clues, please.
I'm not the clues please guy. I'm the see things guy, I guess.
And with that, a total of an hour passes. Let's say that happened somewhere in the middle of it.
Wait, are we just leaving, or?
I mean, if you guys are pressing forward ahead, still.
Well, I thought
finishing.
we're just
finishing the encounter or the with the hour.
I don't know if anybody else wanted to follow after it or anything. I don't know.
I
Is
mean,
that the
there's
only-
there's one way
only
down,
spoke?
right?
Yeah, there's only really forward for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have noticed that this cave in particular is like there's not a lot of branching paths, if at all.
So we're going down the same route it is, regardless of whether we choose to do anything about it or not.
That's what I figured.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that was the encounter. I just thought there was more to it.
You know what that means? One more encounter before we rest.
Well, maybe it'd be a good idea to just rest now.
It's time for the boss fight.
I'm a bit wary of what's coming up, and I think it'd be a good idea to make sure we're fully rested for it.
All right, I won't press it. Let's set up our little camp here.
Yippee!
Yay.
Then let's do
I don't know if Azadan was down any spell slots or anything.
I know I'm down a resolve point. Yeah, I don't have my level 2 spell slot.
I think it'd
Okay.
also be a good idea to just do some daily prep as well. Maybe get more potions and stuff.
I have one healing potion and one elixir of life.
I have one elixir.
I'll move you guys over to here so we have an actual visual for this.
The stash currently has 7 elixirs of life in it.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah, we've been preparing. Nobody's grabbing them out of there.
I will grab some.
You know, I'm trying to take it away from you, bro.
I'll grab 2 of them. And I will have 3 in my inventory.
Grab an elixir. I just have potions.
And they're more or less the same thing, just one's alchemical and one's magical.
Yeah.
I think the elixir has an additional effect.
Yeah.
Saving throws against disease and poison.
Yep.
There's probably some stuff in here we could sell. Did we sell that horrendous mask?
We sold the fucked up mask.
Can't believe you guys didn't want the fucked up mask.
You can't use
Predictable
it.
silver piece. Yeah.
Can someone just drop me an elixir in my inventory? I still don't know how to just grab one.
Drag it over to your inventory and it'll prompt you to select how many you want to move.
Okay, thank you. I was ready to drag all of them.
No, it'll prompt you and you can put in a number of how many of them you want to move.
Yoink.
I guess is there anything in here we want to sell?
So this is when Azadin takes the moment to like write the stuff down and scribble some shit on the back of the thing because they were not telling them is to take the book out in front of that dude.
Does anybody want the broken tusk pendant, or can we sell that?
What was that again?
I don't really need that.
I think I put that there in case the other group wanted it because I'm still not sure how sharing shit works. But if we don't care, then we can just sell it because it's been there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't something I'd ever really use.
I don't know if anyone in that group benefit from it.
We could also probably sell the breach ejectors.
The reaction is like all that really could be useful on it because we do encounter a good amount of animals.
The reaction can be used against. Oh, yeah, it is specifically against animals. Yeah.
The breach ejectors. Well, none of us have double barrel fire.
Nope.
That is a sell.
Can we just get rid of both of those items and put 60 gold in our inventory?
Yeah.
All right. Doing so now.
Dope sauce.
Does anybody have anything that they wanted to buy now that we have 104 gold?
I know I wanted the wraps that you and Ortyx have. I don't think I ever bought the
35 gold.
35 gold.
Do I have anything in my inventory to sell? I still have those ingredients, and we haven't really figured out how to do cooking.
gonna go bad soon.
No, Miss said they don't spoil. We don't have to worry about it.
They're gonna go bad soon.
They're effectively preserved, Smiles.
Ortyx has ice packs in his backpack. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're just making Glacial sit with them in her lap when we're doing prep.
Oh my god. Glacial the refrigerator.
Glacial, can you make some more ice cubes for the for the cooler? Yeah.
I don't know how to find the hand wraps. I'm really bad at this.
Here, I can
Go to.
I can
If
drop
you
a
go to-
pair of them into the and have some money, Blizz. I can drag a pair of them into the equipment.
Yeah, it's under
It's in weapons and shields.
Yep.
And then I'll take the. Is it 35 gold?
Yep. These will automatically. They should automatically upgrade as we get like weapon upgrades and stuff. Like
Yep.
they should automatically become +1 hand wraps. I don't know how Foundry handles that, if we have to like manually add that in, or if that just gets well, actually no, those would be item bonuses, so automatic bonus progression would automatically add it to our strike.
Yep.
So we don't have to worry about it.
The main reason to have them is for runes. Like
Yeah.
property runes.
Are there any runes we could even afford with this much gold?
Okay, well, great news. I've gone to add. Oh, hold on. Wait.
Actually, how do you search for runes in
I've gone to add the hand wraps, and I'm presenting you with a screenshot I've encountered immediately after. I think I did already have a pair.
Oh.
Awesome.
Well, I guess we get that 35 gold back.
Oh, yeah.
If I put them back in the box.
Oh, we can just delete them and give ourselves the money back.
I will add 35 gold back to your guys'.
Like I said, I'm still really bad at this.
Don't worry, it's been a while.
As far as
Even my
runes
equipment,
go,
like,
How do you search for them?
use the list on Archives of Nethys. It's a lot easier.
I was looking at my attacks and not my equipment. I didn't see them.
But there's like a couple things, since you guys can get up to level 3 runes right now. They're at a max for level 3 runes. It's like 60 gold. So there's a couple things here. I'll post the list. Can everybody give me a perception check, hidden for their watches?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah!
They have to roll you in for glacial.
Yeah, you can. That's an extra. It's a nice thing about having a companion.
What does Hilter have? Well, I can do more stuff on crit. Top of my stunning.
Something notable for the punchy boys. Crushing is pretty good.
That's
Yep.
what I was looking at.
Yeah.
That's also what I've been peeping.
That is hefty gold.
Yup.
Yarr. Expansive, but
Putting returning on my fist.
What?
Rocket punch!
Rocket
Please,
punch.
rocket punch.
there's actually, it's not until later. I think it's called extending or something like that. But there is
Yeah,
a rune for you take 2 actions and you give your strike. It's like 30-foot range.
Yeah, but that's the
30?
JoJo
Yeah.
One Piece. That's not rocket punch.
That's
That's the Hamon punch. I know that one.
I think that's a 7.
Dragons. Apply to a dueling cape or shield. Oh. Well, I don't cast spell.
I think another one that's pretty neat is where did it go? I lost it.
The one I'm really looking to take is demolishing.
Oh yeah, demolishing is cool.
Where's that?
6.
Okay.
I thought it was.
Source Pathfinder Special Fungus.
Oh, never mind. It's a later one. 4 is when you start to get access to like quite a few things. Like Ghost Touch and Bane.
Ghost Touch is something I probably want.
Yeah, Ghost Touch, Bane, both quite nice.
I know your ass is going to be giving us some incorporeal motherfuckers to deal with at some point.
We've been thinking about it instead of PC had Ghost Touch on there. We just couldn't like afford it with everything else we wanted.
I know your ass is going to give us some incorporeal motherfucker just to give us a hard time. You're not that nice. I know you have the 3 shadow encounter ready.
Cool. Well, while you guys finish up your shopping, I'll get on to watches. Most of your watches go on pretty mellowy, pretty. Oh God, dude, my
Uneventfully.
brain uneventfully. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Ugh.
Pretty chill.
Pretty chill, yeah. Pretty vivacious. Occasionally you hear like a soft skittering, but it never ends up being more than simply an insect or a smaller critter. However, Ortyx, during your watch,
I am burdened with knowledge.
During your watch, you hear from farther down the cave a scream echoing down the hall, or echoing down the cave.
I think Ortyx probably used to hearing screams at this point coming off the hush puppies.
Mm-hmm.
Would go to peek down, but I don't think he would pursue it.
Just, taking a couple steps, like, down the cave, but not actually going down.
Yeah, I'm not looking to abandon my party while they're asleep, but I do want to see if there's anything approaching us that could be immediately dangerous.
You don't see anything approaching. However, you do realize as you sort of take a step around the curve, that the hull, the tunnel begins to straighten out, and far down the tunnel, you see a orange light for like just a moment, and then darkness again.
Orange light? Like
Yes.
sunlight, or like something unnatural? Like something that isn't like natural light?
Something that isn't natural light.
Okay. Peculiar. I think Ortyx takes mental note of it, but doesn't pursue it any further and just sort of continues to dutifully keep his watch.
Okay.
Probably looking a bit more in that direction now than before, but still trying to cover all the bases.
Cool. Just going sort of based off of order of the roles that happened. Your watch ends and you go to wake up Azadan and Glacial. And the rest of the watches go pretty, like I said before, pretty uneventful. Even warning the rest of the party, about sort of telephoning it down the line, about the scream and the light. Nobody sees or hears anything for the rest of your rest from that direction. Let me bump it forward 8 hours. Are you all done with your shopping, your resting?
Yep.
All good on that front?
I don't have anything I need immediately, and I think we're pretty good on emergency healing potions. So.
Yep.
Cool. Make sure you guys are full health, full stamina, and full resolve points. And on top of that, minus aggression as well.
Jim, GM, how do we do cooking?
There's like a whole page for it. I'm pretty sure I posted it in the resources, but it can just be during like downtime. Like you guys can take a little bit of extra downtime after a rest or like before a rest or something like that. And did I actually post it in here? I think it's attached to the rules.
It was the Kingmaker cooking rules, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is that?
In Kingmaker. Essentially, it's you use the ingredients to make a meal, which feeds multiple people.
I see. So I'm.
And depending on the quality or like the ingredient, depends on like certain buffs it could give.
I see.
They are. Yeah, those are linked in the mechanics sheet, which is in the it's like the first or I guess second link question mark in the resources. I can post again though.
List of meals. Oh, fuck.
Bunch of stuff that can be made.
These require a lot of basic ingredients.
You can probably buy those.
You can probably also subsist and look for them.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I am trained in survival. I can do some subsisting.
Am I trained in survival? I actually forget what skills I'm trained in.
I think most of the.
Yes, I am.
I think everybody here is at least trained. You're cool. Well, that being said, are you guys ready to trudge on forward?
Hell yeah! Give me that D6 or whatever die you roll.
D8.
Give me that
Fates
D8.
die.
The fates die.
I think as Dynasty BRB.
Page. I just saw what you put in Mortician's General. Fucking.
I just had to let him know.
My bitch cave.
We'll wait a second here for Darkle to get back then. Before we get on with it, gives me a chance to play around with music. Find the one that I wanted.
No.
Yeah.
You're gonna play some evil shit and roll a 1.
The classic plays dramatic music, rolls bad, encounter ends.
That's heard the weirdest noise of all time.
Sorry.
Have that effect on people.
Oh no, God! I mean, what?
Oh.
Wait, why do I have 0 basic ingredients? What happened?
Stolen.
No.
Ate him.
Ate him.
No.
Yummy.
Good heavens.
You have one basic
Oh.
ingredient.
I just put it to +1 because I've had one.
Oh, you know what? I think I know what it was.
We fed one to the griffin.
Baby griffin.
Oh, you're
You
sorry.
threw into it.
You're sorry. That's 0. Wait, didn't we get stuff from the crab though?
I ate it.
I thought we got like more than, or I guess, did we just eat them and not spend a ration? Is that what happened?
I think so. I remember eating the crab meat.
Shrug a kiss.
I know I have the special ingredient from the pulley, and I believe I got a basic ingredient from the boars. And then I don't remember if we got anything from crabs.
Webba Darkle.
Welcome back. With that being said,
You have
You have
three
3
basic.
basic. All right.
Alright, I guess we did get stuff from the crab.
I will roll on the fates die. However,
What do you mean, however?
you don't get to see it. Huh?
What?
What the fug?
Why not? Wait, you also have a special ingredient? That's crazy. I also have a special ingredient.
This fucking kid. All right. Prepped in the morning, relative morning of your adventuring day. You guys look down the hall where the scream came from, and are ready to roll.
We already rolled. Boo! Switch off Spider-Man.
As you guys walk down this straight, the tunnel as it straightens out, you notice that at the end of the tunnel, it opens up into a large room, and that smell of smoke gets stronger and stronger.
Wait, I think I know what the orange light was, guys.
You see
Sweats in Californian.
I mean, when I dig too far in Minecraft and I start falling into something liquid.
No.
As you walk and get closer to the entrance to this larger room, is there anything that you guys are doing as you're approaching? Are you stealthing? Are you waltzing in? Or what are your
I'm perceiving.
perceiving?
I'm looking up.
You holy shit, you perceive.
Let's go net 20 EP.
Oh, cool.
No, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm chilling. Whatever. What
Chilling.
happens.
Cool. As you all follow behind Ortyx, looking into the cave from a little bit farther away, you notice two things. One, there is these lines drawn on the sort of like back wall that you can see, that glow slightly, which are like interrupted in weird places by like splotches, and it outlines a a fairly large shape.
What shape would that happen to be?
Well, with your natural 20, you can certainly see at least one wing, one large webbed wing.
I see. Oh god, I have to remember what the fuck we did with that painting.
Can the rest of us see it?
We rolled it up and put it in our pocket.
I'm trying to remember what we
is-
learned from it, like what we saw when we looked at it.
Oh, that's right.
From the dream, we think that the dragon is being hunted down by people, and not the dragon is a bad guy.
Well, Ortyx will definitely point out the shape of the lines.
Like,
Is this
color-
like, so what does this
color?
room look like? Is this just the cave or?
Yeah, it opens up into like a huge room. You are looking at it like you are approaching, not quite at the like the edge of the cave. In hindsight, I probably should have given a little bit more of a run up to the room on the map, but I didn't. So you are once you guys sort of enter the cave, you will be able to see.
Okay. Ortyx will definitely point out the shape that he's seeing and let his party know to be a bit wary about this cave we're about to enter.
Soba will determine that Ortyx has seen something spooky, so he's gonna go stealth mode.
Okay.
Well, he is letting you know that he sees something that looks like probably a dragon's wing. So
As
Do
I
we
said.
know what color the wing is, or is it just really, really dark in there?
well, it's outlined in like a faint glow. What? I guess what
You can
color is it glowing?
You can sort of see the silhouette. The glow is like a pale blue, but you can see sort of the silhouette of the dragon like against the backdrop. Like if you put something in front of like a light.
Is the room itself lit up, or is it just the faint glow from the lines?
A
that we're
faint
seeing?
glow. It isn't like actually lit up. The most light that you can see is you can see that there are some like hush puppies in there, but
I see.
not much else is giving light.
I don't think Ortyx will try to stealth. I think he will be cautious about walking in, but I don't think he's stealthing. Like
Okay.
he's not rushing in there, but he's not being
Is it-
sneaky
is
about his
it-
approach.
Not super worried.
Okay. Anybody else stealthing? If not,
I will press
can
it.
you
Where's
guys
my-
form yourselves into like a 2x2 or like 2 wide party order?
If you unpause the
marching order?
game.
Oh,
Yeah,
pause game.
if you
My bad.
I guess I'll stealth.
What direction is it? To the left or to the right?
To the left.
To the
Or-
left.
Okay. Well, it's a bit right behind.
Soba is. I'm putting him next to Ortyx, but he's actually like a little bit away from him. If I can.
Yeah,
But
like a
just
little
keep-
bit in front, or
Keeping pace like to the side.
okay. Queens. Let me move you guys over to almost. I had like a pre-set up like not predetermined, but like I guessed what the party order was going to be, and I was almost spot on.
Your stream foundry is not working, by the way.
Oh, okay. It hasn't moved. Like it is working.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Fix itself.
Yeah, it just wasn't showing the new party order or anything.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
My bad. I must have been covering it too much. With that being said, let's move you guys over to the scene. As you get in and sort of shine your light into the room, move Soba, like let you slurk along the side of the room.
Yeah.
Slurk's a word.
What's going on?
Let me.
Who is Buddy?
Don't say slurk. That's gross.
That is a ghoul.
Ew.
He's a ghouly guy. Blowing smoke.
I'm gonna grab this for now, but I'm gonna wait till he moves away to get another one later.
The scene ahead of you is as follows. Drawing close to the den, you feel a pull at your robe's pockets as a scream rings out from in the room. The vial of dark liquid in your pocket seems to be pulling you forward. Just gently. The room opens up into a large dome-like chamber. There are markings on the ceiling and walls which glow slightly, but are impossible to make out if they're writing anything due to a dark sludge that sort of covers parts of the walls, ceiling, and floors, and occasionally drips down. In the midst of the room, you see a blast of flame outline two shapes. The first, a humanoid, which sits in a large throne carved out of stone, chained and screaming as they are engulfed in this fire. The second towers above, a large reptilian shadow carved into the wall behind, one wing grasping onto the back of the throne, its head slowly turning to the party as the fire billows out. It blows embers and smoke from its nose, and in a low growl, it speaks. Azadan, you are the only one to understand this ancient tongue. Name and purpose.
As then we make our way down.
I see. And the rest of you? And he cranes his head over and sort of looks at the rest of the party.
Does he say it in common?
No, he doesn't.
And then Ortyx is confused.
They as well, and I'll have like Glacial kind of walk behind as then and start live translating. maybe not live translating, but like after.
Yeah. I see.
What is going on in here?
This is my chamber.
If you do not wish to be interrupted, and we may simply gain passage lower, we may just leave.
Well, if that is what you wish. And you see the dragon take... There is a bowl sitting on the edge of the throne with a sort of shimmering blue liquid in it. And you see the dragon pick it up and sort of tilt it into the mouth of the person sitting on the throne. And they start to like shake, and they start to scream after drinking a bit of this liquid as they shake in their chains.
Oh, what the fuck is going on here?
Glacial will kind of whisper, like, do we care about this person?
I worry for anybody who comes here in the future. I'm not quite sure what's going on here.
To be quite honest, not our monkeys, not our circus.
Ortyx is a little conflicted because on the one hand, he would prefer not to fight if he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
On the other hand, what the scene to him looks like right now is somebody being actively tortured, and he's not too keen on leaving it be, but I think he doesn't want to jump to any conclusions because this is kind of a scary situation.
Yeah.
Ortyx will just sort of turn to Thinis and, do you have any idea? Well, I don't know if wait, Thinis is stealthing, right? I don't know if that matters. If he is, if it does, then I will not turn to Thinis. But um,
I mean, I am stealthing, but like,
You can kind of turn to Glacial and pretend you're talking to her.
yeah, sure. I just, I'm a bit conflicted, but
You seem troubled, little bird. Come closer.
I assume that gets translated.
Yeah.
Ortyx will take a couple cautious steps forward, but not get too close. um, he just kind of points to the guy on the throne and asks, "Who is this?"
He turns slowly as he sets the bowl down again and says, "This is the researcher."
Ortyx just kind of blinks at him.
I have been tasked to force them to relive their death by the hands of the dreamer.
Oh, so they're dead.
No.
They are in eternal torment.
As you get closer, you notice that there are these sort of runes carved into the side of the throne. Some of them glow a faint, like, green color, and the others glow a faint, like, sort of ghostly blue.
He just asks, "Who are these people I'm meant to know? Who is tasked you with such a thing?"
I know not if you are to know them, for that is not my prerogative. But my master goes by many names. I call her the Dreamer.
Should we anticipate any such hostility from her as well? I do not wish to meet a fate like his.
He takes steps out in front of the throne, sort of into the light, and you can tell he has to sort of like readjust as he gets closer to you. I would not think so, unless you have done something to draw her ire.
Well, I sure hope not. We've mostly been fending for ourselves and helping those we can, so.
Zidan has their hands behind their back and is using the apparition gloves to just signal like a stop gesture at Silva if they look back in Zidan's direction.
Yeah, I have no idea how good my stealth is, but I've occasionally, like every minute, I've moved myself
Yeah.
one square.
They haven't been looking at you, but they're like signaling like stop.
I think knowing this guy is in eternal torment for some reason, Ortyx is a little less conflicted about trying to save him from this guy, and is just sort of, well, I don't want to keep us here for much longer, as we are intruding on your chamber. But how may we get on with our purpose?
With Your purpose? Ah,
To delve deeper.
to go deeper. Hmm. I don't know much outside these caves, but I imagine you will run into problems getting out of the descent.
Where is the
Looks like down.
Huh?
Hmm.
Well,
I
I don't know.
apologize. It seems as though my words mean little to you.
Unfortunately, I am not too familiar with the whatever was here before us, so you can excuse my ignorance as I am trying to learn more.
A guest of the Hollow, I presume.
You are correct.
You have an energy to you. This is typical of guests.
Hmm. An energy. So you've seen. I presume you've seen others like us before then.
Rarely, but sometimes people wander in, try to disturb my work.
Well, I have no intention of doing such things. But
When you're out of character, I will shoot you with fire if you can touch that thing. Like, this will become a PvP encounter if you touch that throne.
Can you see me?
Probably.
looking around the cave, is the bottom area sort of where we can exit from?
Yeah. There's a large sort of cave exit entrance, entryway, I guess, at the south of the room.
I'm a little afraid to ask what he did. It caused him to be put in eternal torment.
You notice the dragon in front of you sort of raise their head. They've had it somewhat lowered and sort of talking like head on the same level as like your body.
Yeah.
To better talk to you, but they raise their head looking over and towards Thinis and asks, why does that one shirk away?
I'll let him speak for himself.
I step out like from the wall, I guess. And just say, fear, really.
I suppose that means I've been doing my job then. Yeah. Well, no need to fear as long as you let me do my work.
And we would love to let you go back to do your work right now.
Someone don't fucking do it.
I think it would be in our best interests for you to go back to doing what you're doing right now, so we may just leave.
Hey, what's this watch?
I suppose so. That's the slowed condition.
Can I prepare an active fire of spell at Soba if they try to touch the throne?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just ask that up front?
Um,
I don't know.
well,
I'm getting
if
behind the
you
thing.
wish to watch my work, then you see him turn around and
Mhm.
you see a ball of flame leave his mouth and
I'd
go
like to
towards the throne.
I'd like to take cover behind the throne.
I will give you a bonus to your reflex save, but I am going to need you to roll me a reflex save as he shoots a fireball at the throne, engulfing it and the area around it. Let me post that here for you.
That's gonna.
I
Sure
don't
hope
have a good reflex.
I sure
That
hope the
sucks,
DC for
huh?
this guy isn't too high.
That's crazy.
Ooh.
I sure hope that's not a critical failure.
Hmm.
Mhm.
What are you humming and hawing about?
Wait, he didn't add the plus bonus to it?
I was gonna give him a +2, so I was
17.
calculating it in my brain.
Okay.
17.
What do you-
I'll
Mhm.
You rolled a 9.
I'll keep that.
Okay. Please take 22 fire damage.
Ouch.
That's fine.
um
Not even damaged.
you you said you were trying to take cover behind the throne.
Yeah, he just like sees the fireballs coming in. Like I was going to pass it,
Yeah.
but I had to stop here now and take cover behind it.
Okay, I'll say you are, right behind the throne, and in a sort of burst of movement, you blow through your stamina with only singes on your body. Probably, parts of your tail that you couldn't quite get behind the throne in time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And a scream rings out from the throne again as the body wriggles in place. I guess you're on the wrong side to really see.
I would not.
I guess
Yeah.
everybody else sees.
I think you
Yeah.
can't see either. There's a big dragon in the way.
Yeah, there is
now.
a big dragon in the way.
I mean, I'm sure I could see between his legs.
I think Isaac and I could probably.
A little closer and looking at him, I guess, Ortyx. You the body looks sort of like, what is a reference? People here would like kind of like curly mouthwashing.
It's,
As
It
is,
I presume.
it is like mostly like torn back flesh. You can't see the eyes because the eyes are the top half of his head has like a sort of cloth cover, or what you
the guy
presume
on
to
the
be cloth.
throne?
Yeah, the guy on the throne.
Okay.
And as he sort of screams out, the dragon goes to walk back towards the throne.
So I think should leave.
Yeah.
It's
Can
strange. I
I-
thought I heard something else behind here.
Yeah, I'm gonna use an action real quick if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
And then it comes very loudly.
Ortyx starts to move down towards the exit.
I'm going to use
Oh.
so you resolve. And then I'm gonna slip around to this side.
Can you roll me a stealth check? A new stealth check?
Is it for me to help with the cough? Like, can I aid or something?
You can aid with diplomacy. I'll give you
Okay,
that.
That's awesome. Do I just roll it raw?
Yeah, you
just
roll
roll
diplomacy.
Public or
You're trying to beat
Yes.
public.
You're trying to beat 15.
Okay.
That is a
crit
crit. So this is a
Yeah.
plus
So
that's
2 to your
plus
stealth
2.
roll.
All right, and this is a
Yeah.
hidden stealth roll, right? I think all stealth rolls
Yes,
are hidden.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
This dragon probably has really good perception.
He didn't notice me to begin with.
Which means you probably
And
rolled
honestly,
pretty well.
that damage was like, it was
Yeah,
a
but-
lot. Well, like a 17 succeed. Come on.
If I
Yeah,
may
but
taste
also,
the
like, I
flavor
don't-
this,
I
if
don't
it
re-
succeeds, I want this to be them like turning their
Wait.
neck back towards me because of the cough.
I just I don't see a reason to fight him since he was so kind enough to just give us a bunch of information and not kill us
Yeah,
on sight.
the group was really not aiming for a fight. It feels like.
I think in this situation, Ortyx understanding that this guy probably
Fuck.
did something.
I meant to keep
Oops.
that hidden.
Rough. That was a pretty good roll too.
Yeah, sure was.
Do it again. Hide that shit.
Wait, was 17 a success? No way, it was a success.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a success. It wasn't a critical fail.
Yeah, but like, still, that's a lot of damage. Ortyx just doesn't see a reason to fight. Ortyx is like, he likes fighting, but he's not belligerent about it, he doesn't need to fight everybody. And this guy hasn't presented any hostility towards him initially, and he feels that whatever crime this guy did is probably deserving of punishment, but Ortyx just doesn't understand enough about the situation to really be more of a judge on that.
Good guys don't torture evil guys.
And Evan is not a good person.
As the dragon moves up and sort of goes to look around the throne, he is distracted at the last second by the cough and turns over towards Azadan. Are you okay?
I am very sorry. I'm seen to have caught a cold. As it points to Glacial, I'm near cold very often.
Can you roll for sleight of hand?
Wait.
I will shoot you. If I see your hand fucking, I will just fight you.
He squints and walks towards you, Azadan, and says,
Tell me more about this bowl of liquid when you get a chance.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry.
I'm going to actually fight you.
Walking closer to Azadan, who says, a cold. That's quite hilarious for someone as, I guess, in tune with fire as yourself.
That's just the way it goes, huh?
I can't imagine myself catching a cold, but I suppose I am isolated.
You do seem very much more powerful than I. I cannot imagine you catching a cold. This is not like a lie. This is this is a fact. That is a dragon.
Yeah. Suppose I never thought of it like that. As they're having this conversation, Soba, you peep up into the bowl. It is a shimmering blue liquid that can you just roll me just press the funny little recall knowledge button.
Oh yeah,
on your macro.
I can't believe we got Dune Part 2 liquid in here. What happened?
Wait, where is recall knowledge?
It should be the little dice with like the target around it on your macro bar.
Oh.
I did put it on everybody's macro bar.
Yeah.
Soba tries to remember. Okay.
Yeah. It just gives me their thing with all of your bonuses. So it just tells it gives me the roll with bonuses. So
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. You look into this bowl and you recognize this liquid. You have seen it before. In fact, Azadan had you drink some back in the waterfall
Oh
cave.
my god, it's the memory liquid.
So he did die.
He's
He's reliving his death. So
he's probably in a state of like near death constantly.
I'm gonna turn and look at the party, and then I'm gonna look at the bowl.
No. Glacial's shaking her head. Like, no.
As
How long did time pass during like the one sip he had before?
it was like a couple minutes. Like,
It was a couple minutes. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
you
it wasn't like a-
you had like a like a 2-3 minute bad trip. Like,
All right. I'd like to do one more recall knowledge.
I'm gonna kill myself. In the
give me just a moment, and I will let you do that.
Can I also recall knowledge? Actually, can
on
I?
what?
I want to assess the Drake and see it.
Yeah.
See how tough this guy is.
That's what I wanted to do.
Awesome.
I was
I'll
gonna
let,
size him up.
I'll let Ortyx do it since he's
What
standing beside you.
flavor of recall? Oh, I guess I'll just hit the button.
just press the button.
I'm kind of familiar with dragons. You could say that I've seen a dragon before.
What is your? Hold on.
I hit the macro for
Yeah. What was the question?
How tough is this guy? How tough are you?
How tough are you? Very. Like,
Okay, I figured.
Yeah, this
being has been here for far too long.
yes, he's been here for quite some time now.
He's been here for quite some time. Good bro, my friend is.
Yeah, you what does Ortyx associate with strength? So I can give you a number, like, attack, defenses, something of the sort.
I think he, like, based purely on looking at him, like, all he's done is sort of walk around and shoot fire. So I guess, like HP, like how hardy, probably, like how bulky does he look?
Extremely. It would take quite a few hits from the party to be able to take him down.
Okay.
There is another strange thing that you notice,
Okay.
and it's sort of the temperament, because your beliefs and the stories you've heard of these fire drakes, and it is, there are small differences between drakes and like dragons,
Right.
TM, but flame drakes in particular are known to be go on rampages. They're known to be very angry and very hostile.
Yeah.
This one seems
Domesticated.
old, wise, and sagely.
Nah, this has a cool ass vibe, bro. I like this guy. I don't care if he's
well-
torturing my guy. That's his job. He's clocking in his 9 to 5. I wanna
Yeah, this is his this is what he gets paid to do. So like, yeah, I don't want to fuck with him, and I don't see a reason to. And now that I have this information, I really don't see a reason to.
Your eyes are particularly drawn to the several spikes it has across its body,
Yeah,
and its
I noticed
large
it has
jaws, and its surprisingly, like, what is the word, prehensile tail. Like, it is like doing stuff with its tail, like sweeping ash and stuff as it's talking to you.
Yeah, I've noticed quite a few protrusions coming off of this guy. So, after sizing him up, I think Ortyx will just sort of continue on his way out.
Yeah,
He's probably gotten a good amount of more information than is probably reasonable for somebody in this situation. So, I think he's good to keep moving on. I don't know if Thinis had any more questions.
Do you want me to move my guys back, or are you good?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
It's fine for you guys to do like that first movement
Is that,
you
is
guys
that
did
good,
over.
or...
Yeah, if you can.
Did I
also
move too
back.
far?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a square every minute, like what I've been doing.
maybe not that, but he looks at your group as I'm trying to think of the way to describe this sound. It's almost like a bubbling in his throat, like the flames sort of like cooking, and it sort of resembles like a chuckle. And he says, usually when people come in here, they tend to try to disturb, as I said before, but your group has been more amusing than I ever could have thought. If you have any other questions of the sort, or if there's anything I could do, it's the least I could do.
Well, I don't tend to like to pry too much into going-ons, but I have to admit, I'm extremely curious what got him into the situation that he's in, and um, I just would like to avoid such a fate. I kind of like what I do, and I don't want to end up.
We like our skin on our body.
You referred to him as the researcher, so I assume he must have stumbled on something that he shouldn't have.
Yes, he did research on my kind.
Hmm.
It is why I was appointed by the Dreamer to watch over him. He has done great misdeeds.
I think Ortyx probably thinks back to the painting.
Yeah, Hesitant's ready to ask a question related to the...
Then I mean, yeah.
I-
Ortyx
Before-
probably thinks to himself, but doesn't speak out loud. But yeah, you can go ahead.
Before you ask your question real quick, I need to know what's happening over here. Hey Soba,
Yeah.
what are you up to?
He's not gonna drink the chug jug, but he is gonna see if he. I wanted to know if this was a dragon, first of all, which it seems like Ortyx has already figured out that is not true.
It is a drake.
It is a drake, and
Very
he's
closely
determined
related.
it has a lot of HP,
Yes.
It is pretty
which
bulky.
means probably beyond our ability.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I think Ortyx, without saying anything to Soba, is trying to make his intentions after what he's gleaned clear by like visibly moving down towards the exit.
He has determined that this is not a fight we are going to engage in. So he's about to dip. But before he does so, he wants to make sure that there is nothing on this guy or in the throne other than what we visibly see, which is, a guy being charred in the nude. Just making sure there's no hidden weapons, rings, etc., etc.
No, what it is
What is
very
that?
much what you get. Like there's the runes themselves that are carved into the throne. There is the why am I not? There we go. There's the runes carved into the throne. There is the pot of juice. So on and so forth.
He only gave it like a quick glance from the time, since Soba since Ortyx did his initial like how tough is he? He's tough. Like that's when he was looking, and then during the conversation that was happening, Soba would have been starting to slink away.
Okay.
Sklunk.
It is just before you do that, the Drake turns around and sort of starts to go back towards the throne.
If I may ask, we encountered images of what I think was a red dragon being persecuted. Is this something you have knowledge of?
Yes. A red dragon by name. This was the researcher's primary subject, I believe.
See, I'm very sorry. Nobody should be subjected to something like that.
If you wish to know more about the researcher, there is something you could try. As a minion and a worker, I only have so much knowledge of the situation. I'm simply doing my job. But if you wish, and he picks up the bowl in one of his wings are attached to. In fact, I can do this. I can't believe I haven't done this yet. Hold on. Well,
Yeah, we have.
show players
Whoa.
a
Whoa.
full image
That
of
is-
him.
Those are some big wings.
Yeah, his hands are also like his wings. They are.
Yeah, I noticed the several talons.
Like in nature.
He scoops up the bowl. As Soba, I imagine you fucking like Looney Tunes ass, like press yourself against the throne to not be seen here.
Yeah. His tail's wrapping around all the way to the other side.
Yeah. Grabs the bowl and turns back towards the party. If you would like, you could partake in the serum, but I do warn you of the damage it could cause.
Of what kind?
More of the mind.
And this means some will save associated with this.
You could also choose to take some of it with you and drink it perhaps when you are ready. I am not picky.
I think I would prefer that. As an will dig to try to find an empty potion in their bag.
Yeah, you have a
Take
couple
some-
vials from when you were prepping to get the tar, so.
Take a little bit of time looking to try.
As you were
and
doing
finally get
that,
it.
the Drake like walks up to your group, like right in front of you.
That's a big fella.
Yeah,
no.
Soba,
Yeah.
can you roll me one more stealth check?
Yeah. I was honestly really tempted to, when he was like, yes, you can have a sip. I was tempted to just have him slink out and like take it. Like, don't mind if I do. But I knew I would get scolded by my party.
Yeah, that's
When you're
crazy.
a little bit closer to over here.
Don't interrupt bro's work.
fine.
He's just at his 9 to 5 right now.
This
It
is
wouldn't be
being-
interrupting. He offered it at that point.
That's
You're
true.
being very rude. This is Azadin's like special enrichment session, and you're being very mean to them.
Hey, I'm specifically trying to not do anything.
This is the most talking they've done probably ever, and you're being very rude right now.
this is the
I'm
most-
trying to not be involved.
This is Soba has done a like a miraculous job of not getting noticed by this fucking Drake.
So
Can
Soba has the zoomies. Gotta get it out of
Can
the system.
can Athodin roll another aid for the sake of this is
I'm
definitely
moving.
distracting him?
I'm getting bottles for sure.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
just-
I'll
yeah.
let that be the case.
Give him another +2.
I don't know about all that.
See the diplomacy check.
That's a plus
It's
one.
+1.
It's a +1. We take it.
All pluses matter.
All right. Blind.
The Drake is watching closely for as you sort of dig through for a bottle. It holds the serum, as he called it, in one hand or in one wing, and it's just a single rock, but a small disturbance is heard from the other end of the room, and the Drake whips its head over towards Soba.
And I still dip my bottle into the bowl.
It is a little high for you to reach right now because he hasn't presented it down to you. He is holding it at his height.
So he looks at Soba.
He looks over towards Soba. He's like, I see there was a fifth.
Yeah, Soba's just giving him this stare. Just looking at him like, oh fuck, I've been noticed.
I can genuinely tell you, I have no idea what the fuck he is doing over there.
Can you just give me a make an impression? It's just a diplomacy roll.
Yeah, I want you to know. Yeah, this is diplomacy and not the other one. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're being so for real. I'm using a hero point. Fuck you.
Understandable.
That's one that Soba owes me this hero point later. How do I spend it?
Just right click and click reroll with hero point.
Roll and keep new, lower, or higher. Am I clicking the wrong thing?
Oh,
do I have to click on my hero? But no.
No, it should just be reroll using hero point.
Oh, I see. I was clicking the wrong thing.
17.
Well,
that is an 8 on the die, so that would actually be a
27.
27. Yeah, that would be +10. Top half of the die. He sort of snorts, and you see fire and smoke come out of his nose. A dishonest one. But you have been honest and kind. I suppose I can let one slip.
Thank you. I'm sure they appreciate it. And as it ends, staring daggers over.
Ortyx just kind of chuckles in relief at the situation.
Please come over into the light. There's no need to lurk in the dark.
Soba is he would, but the game is paused.
Yeah.
It's gonna slither on up.
Again, we were not sure what to expect coming in. So
Yeah, he'll just confidently step up, and as he gets nice and close, slithers up to him, he'll dust off some soot and ash on his body from the fire attack he took moments before.
So you were the rat that I heard behind the throne.
The rat actually left the party a while ago.
This is true.
That's true.
He turns his head sort of nonplussed over towards Azadan.
Come on.
And lowers his wing, the bowl in hand.
I will grab a bottle full of the vial, the substance.
The liquid.
Prepare yourself mentally before partaking. But
They nod.
hopefully it gives you more information about this place.
We appreciate your willingness to help us.
Hmm.
I'm glad this didn't turn into a fight.
Me as well. He says, "I the dragon again, the Drake again."
He
Yes.
turns his head over towards you, and you see a billow of smoke exit his nostrils again, and he says, "Me as well."
I think there would have been a few more ash piles in this room.
Well, it seems as though the time has come again, and I must get back to my work.
Ethelred will nod, and Iglesia will put a hand over Zelda's shoulder. Agreed. Right. Looking very friendly.
I've had one question this whole time. And that is, why is that man not dead?
Hmm. The runes carved into the throne, they keep him that way. He is alive, but barely brought back again and again. Even if he does die, his body has nowhere to go. His soul has nowhere to go, except for back to his body.
What a truly horrible fate.
I'm just imagining, right? Like, if that did turn into a fight, just standing on the chair while fighting this dragon.
Oh yeah, that's Zelda's throne.
Oh God.
It's his King of the Hill. Come and take me moment.
If we were all on the throne and we all died, would we get a Scooby-Doo live action moment where we all switch bodies?
Well,
Selba gets in Glacial's body, and Azran just unsummons them so they can work about something else.
so if his body was removed, even but for a moment, then his soul would be free.
Glacial is like very like squeezing and very slightly enough for him to feel it.
I suppose if he were to leave the chair and die once more, then this would be the case.
Sounds like you'd get a break if that happened.
I would be punished.
That doesn't sound like a break.
He shakes his head slowly. The dreamer would certainly not be pleased.
Well, my snake-like senses are telling me that it would be best if we part ways here. So,
Fuck. What?
take care, dragon.
Thank you for being so patient.
Of course, I've been here for this long. Patience is all I have.
Sorry for interrupting your work. You may leave now, so you may return to it.
As I said, it was a pleasure. I can't help you much, but I hope the knowledge alone was enough payment in return for your visit.
We appreciate what you have done for us. I'm sure this will prove very fruitful.
And with that, he turns and wanders back towards the throne. And as you all leave, you feel a burst of heat behind you and another scream.
As they're walking past Selva as they're leaving, I can do that too, you know?
Is that a warning or?
I think we could have taken him.
Ortyx just ponders that for a moment and shakes his head. he's been alive far too long for that to have been something that would have been something we could have done without a miracle.
I'm just saying that fireball hurt less than the crabs.
Something to take note of as you guys leave. Perhaps as minds cool and sort of nerves settle. The thought of, I mean, it's happened before, but the thought of him being, extremely old is stranger still, since the Hollow itself has only been around for around 3 years.
Yeah, this guy. There's definitely remnants of something that was here before us, and I think Ortyx commented on it a bit, but like not much.
With that,
Well,
you guys have successfully solved my my dragon puzzle despite all odds.
Thank God we have somebody who can speak its language.
that's
I-
crazy.
What language was that, by the way?
Draconic.
Draconic.
Yeah,
Oh,
makes
okay.
sense.
The
This
dragon one.
I was so interested as you guys got down to the second layer to see who would get over here.
Oh God,
Because
what if
it could have
Team
been very different with the other party.
What would have happened if Team Soul got here?
That's a very good question.
Probably a fight.
I had stuff planned for if, there was a language barrier, but ooh. Luck has it that you guys had the key.
Thank fuck.
Even
That
though
could've-
Soba tried really hard to still fuck it
Hey.
up.
We're gonna have a talk about that later.
I was just preparing for a fight to get flanking.
I think
That's
Yeah,
all I was doing. I was
have
just in case.
I have
I'll be-
great fire. I can tank this motherfucker.
I'll be honest. In a situation where we wouldn't have been able to understand him, and I just see somebody being tormented on a chair for like their entire existence
Mhm.
without being able to speak to the Drake, I think Ortyx would have been a bit more hostile.
Yeah. I mean, you even thought about it like first coming in here. Like
Yeah.
you mentioned Ortyx was like on the fence about that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Language barrier or not, Azadin sees the torturing as we can leave.
This guy's busy.
Yeah, like I that guy probably gone. Me, all good. Let's go.
Ortyx is just a constant conflict of trying to achieve what he wants, but also like can't ignore everything.
Mhm.
Soba views himself as a traveling adventurer, and he would be happy to hear of the towns he passes through, calling him hero in the tales they tell. So that room doesn't fly on the hero radar.
Yeah. I don't know that Ortyx is particularly interested in being a hero, but he does want to be. His goal is to be a legend, so of sorts.
That didn't pass the moral compass room. That was a little too far. Which is why Sobo was like, well, I'm unseen, which means I'm going to let the party talk this one out and be ready for any situation that comes up.
Cool. On that note, I would like to cover a couple things.
Okay.
First is as you guys go down this path this large sort of cave, much larger than like a lot of the lengths of cave that you're used to, because you can tell that there is at least somewhat regular traffic from a certain known creature. You guys are currently
As
here.
we're leaving, Ezra taps himself on the forehead and says, "Oh, we didn't ask them their name."
It's true.
Well, I suppose I should have
No.
been.
I wouldn't have been able to pronounce it, probably.
I suppose I should have been one to ask.
That's okay.
I usually do like to have the introduction returned in kind.
We were a little preoccupied.
A lot on my mind upon initially entering the room, admittedly.
A lot of my mind the rest of the time for me.
It takes a decent amount of time to get back to open air, but you do realize that this carved out tunnel leads you back into the open air of the hollow. And at the, and I will hide the token again just to be able to see it, at sort of the mouth of the dragon, the big dragon carving.
It's a carving.
Yes.
I
And
assumed it.
now that you're much closer to it, you can actually tell something decently interesting about it. And that it is, like, the way down is sort of on it.
Oh,
Is it spine stairs?
Yes.
I see. That
Not
now.
necessarily stairs. It's sort of like natural stairs. Like you can still see like spurts of grass and like other stuff, but yes, this is sort of carved into it. Looking at it from sort of any other angle in the hollow, you'd see this sort of dragon, but looking at it from here, you can see the sort of ornate carvings and your way down, Smiles.
Looking a bit closer at the carving, does it look more like Buddy inside, or does it look more like the dragon from the painting?
It looks more like the dragon from the painting. Give you that. The main reason that you can tell is the sort of wing talons. There's the single wing talon on each, which are generally closer to dragons because they don't need multiple of the talons because they're not using their hands for like grabbing and shit.
Yeah.
They're
Makes
not
sense.
also their hands.
Oh, I'll probably never know, but part of me is curious if I actually failed that roll or not. Because my knowledge checks are not great.
Yeah, not very good. But who knows?
It's very funny to pull Ortyx into that conversation immediately after. I'm glad that I could translate somehow.
Thank you, Glacial. I just assumed, like what you said, like Glacial's just live translating.
Yeah,
That
no,
was
of course.
That was the middleman.
It's funny to put you into another one of those situations because last time that like you got in something, I couldn't help you, and this time I really still couldn't. I could just translate like, in flavored help you, but like I am not pulling you out of a conversation with that motherfucker. I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, with your way forward determined, would you like to roll on the Fates die?
Yes.
Are we gonna encounter another whirlwind on the way in fucking stairs as we go down?
Is Silva gonna whatever the healing thing is, or did they do that already?
I suppose I can Nah.
Okay.
You did steal your resolve while you were in there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not... Anybody think I can identify, or are we just not doing that right now?
Huh?
No, never mind. I was looking to see if I had an action ready to, if we're good. For the,
Alright, let's give it a roll.
exploration.
Surely we level up, right? Small.
Surely.
That was a scary Drake.
Yeah.
That's a scary man.
Ortyx has fought a dragon, but not a Drake. It's a little different.
Is it scarier?
I don't know. I haven't encountered very many Drakes, but they definitely fight different. A bit more aggressive. Though that one was far more docile. Probably on account of having done the same thing for so long.
You think the Drake goes under important people in the journal?
Yes.
Is he?
I think that encounter was pretty important. On account of we don't know what the Fates die roll was.
Yeah.
A 7?
As the rest of the party follows behind Ortyx, it is very clear when Ortyx disappears.
Huh? Oh no, it's finally happening to me. Why am I being burdened with all the knowledge today?
it's an Ortyx kind of day.
Oh no. More character RP.
Ortyx, you find yourself in a place that's only been described to you thus far. A white void surrounds you.
Ortyx just kind of braces himself. Not like kind of ready to defend himself, but his party has come like what was it? It was Thinnis, right? Who's been taken both times. Like Thinnis has come back pretty much unscathed, so I don't think he's worried about a fight, but he does ready himself just in case.
Preparing yourself, you look around warily, taking a sort of slow but steady spin, and as you get around to where you think you started, it's really hard to tell when everything around you looks the exact same. You see a figure. A humanoid with long hair flowing behind them. And they call out to you in a soft, sort of echoey voice. Seems my invitation found you.
Invitation? To where?
To here.
Ortyx just kind of looks around.
Come, sit with me. And you see a hand sort of raise up from her and point behind you. And when you look behind you, they are there sitting in a silhouette of a chair with a table in front of them and another chair on the other side.
Sensing no real hostility, I imagine, coming from this person, Ortyx still a little wary. Will sit down and just but for what purpose is this invitation?
To learn more about you Delvers.
Well, I can't speak for all, but I can answer what I can. You perhaps... Never mind.
What you can is enough. Please, you were about to say something. I'm curious.
No, I'm coming from an encounter with a Drake in his chamber, and there's a lot on my mind. Many names I'm unfamiliar with. A civilization, or parts of one, at least, from what we've seen. A castle built into the walls, just so much that I honestly can't really make heads or tails of, but all I know is that I wish to experience more. And that is what I hold firm to for now.
So, you're curious about the walls, about the hollow?
Yes,
Hmm.
it seems there's a lot that came here before me.
Ah, there are. Many have come down into here, but your group interests me.
Something in particular we did?
Hmm. Simply the way you carry yourselves and your tether to the surface. Tell me, why throw away your life here?
Well, I don't see it as throwing away my life. I I think of this as a pilgrimage of sorts. I am well traveled, and an opportunity presented itself to me, and I wish to find more fulfillment in my life. I think it is presumptuous to assume that this is simply throwing away my life in the face of a danger posed to me when there's so much unknown to experience and so much to allow me to make a name for myself and have others look to me as an example of somebody who did with their life what they could when they were presented the opportunity.
Hmm. You are grounded in your purpose. This is most interesting.
I do not come here with superficial wishes or hopes. I simply want to conquer what is presented in front of me in the best way that I know how. And whatever may come with that is simply more experience to take with me.
Hmm. If this is the case, then I will not answer what lies ahead. But please, you may ask of me a question in return for your thoughts.
Well, a name has been going through my mind since it was mentioned, but do you know of the one referred to as the Dreamer? It's not a name I'm heard before in my time.
I hear they go by many names. dreamer is a new one.
Hmm.
Perhaps you've even heard of their other names. Or, at the very least, one other.
What would that be?
You get the feeling that she smiles back at you. I will leave that for you to discover. Perhaps some things are more connected than you think they are.
Hmm.
I advise you to watch your step.
I see.
Can you please roll me a reflex save?
Huh? 6 on the die.
A missing member of your party once more. What are y'all doing on this long staircase?
So, Ortyx was in the front.
Yes.
Probably waiting.
I imagine we stop and wait
Yeah.
when he disappears, and we commented like, it's never us, huh? And then we've just kind of been hanging out. But how long has gone by so far?
It seems an ounce longer than the last time Thinnus disappeared. Closer to around 3-4 minutes, maybe.
This is the last time. I don't think I detected anything. But can I roll Arcana again? Or whatever the magic stat is?
Yeah. You roll me some Arcana. A hint of magic. Now knowing sort of what to look for, it's hard to be prepared for, spontaneous excuse me. It's hard to be prepared for spontaneous teleportation, but with Ortyx in front of you and you ready to look for it as the moment he disappeared, you pick up on traces of...
And I don't even know if this is a thing I can ask. Can I try to cast the same kind of magic that I do to summon Glacia? See if I can pull Ortyx back.
Yeah, I'll say it's a pretty learned process for you of like how you usually summon and desummon Glacial. But you can't find that connection quite with Ortyx. Usually there's sort of something you can feel on the other side that you sort of pull to you, and that's how you find Glacial, but you can't quite find the rope to pull on.
Can I just try standing where Ortyx was last standing?
Yes.
See how it feels?
You're about to get telefragged.
That's fine.
It is, as you sort of step forward and are surveying, that you see a familiar face appear next to you. Soba, I need you to roll a reflex save.
Yeah.
As you try to, on instinct, reach out towards Ortyx as he appears just over the ledge next to you.
Oh.
Whoa. What happened, guys?
That's not very good.
Ortyx, you are not able to grab Soba's hand, unfortunately. However, you are able to just barely get your claws on the side of the stairs as you fall past them. You successfully grab a ledge.
Oh, so I succeed in grabbing the ledge. I don't have to do
You
it?
succeeded in yours, yeah. I was going
Okay.
to give Soba the chance, since he did walk over towards where your body, where you would spawn, to try and grab you, but you managed to at the very least catch yourself on the side of the stairs.
Whoa there.
Ooh. That,
I'll have Soba help him up as he's pulling himself back up at the very least.
Okay. And with,
Like-
assurance athletics, it doesn't take much for you to get yourself back onto the staircase.
ooh, that comment was literal.
What comment?
She told me to watch my step.
Oh. Who?
I don't know. I didn't give her my name and she didn't give me hers, but I also couldn't really see her. It was like looking at a shadowy figure, like a silhouette. Not quite sure. She was interested in why I was here, though. I have a feeling that this was probably the same person Thinis has seen before.
Soba will just look to Thinis for affirmation on that.
Sorry, my Thinis nods.
Well, next time either of you are there, you should ask for the name.
Probably would have been a good idea, but I admittedly was a bit wary at first. But they don't seem hostile, just intrigued by our group.
They seem very
For what purpose
powerful to me.
Yes, they... Don't know how to quite put it into words, but they were in one place before my eyes and then behind me the next, and I know not where their realm is, but it's certainly not here.
Yeah, maybe powerful is not the right word. They feel omniscient.
Yes.
Well, nothing to do about it. Not like it's the first time.
I was, and I can't really make heads or tails of it. But I did get to ask them a question, and their answer was vague. But since we spoke with the Drake, a lot of the names they mentioned have been on my mind. And I'd asked her about the Dreamer. And she told me that it was a name we would be familiar with, but I can't really come up with anything on my own. So perhaps together we could come up with something, but I don't really have anything to go off, admittedly. So
I mean, if it's something that we know, we could put together a list. There's not a whole lot of people we've met along the way.
I'm not really sure myself, but I don't know if that's immediately important, seeing as we're on the side of a cliff.
Yeah, let's make our way down.
And spending the rest of the hour to travel along the spine of the dragon, you find yourself at the bottom. There is a ledge which protrudes out, and there is a small crack in the wall which leads you back into the caves.
And that is probably where we'll have to pick up next time.
Yep. I will say, though, there is something very important that I have to tell your group, and it is that you have reached level 4.
Yippee!
Yippee! All right, well, I'm gonna do that right now.